Once upon a time, there lived a woman named Carol, who had journeyed through 61 remarkable years of life. In the serene embrace of Northern Virginia, I have called this quiet house my own for nearly 7 years, a solitary journey woven into the fabric of its stillness. Once upon a time, my children spread their wings and took flight to distant shores, each carving out their own unique paths on opposite coasts. In their absence, I found solace in the quietude of my days, embracing the serene cadence of mornings filled with the warmth of tea and evenings wrapped in the pages of a good book. In a moment of quiet reflection, I believed I had found my peace. Perhaps I was. It was just until the weekend that passed. As the rain fell softly from the heavens, he made his entrance. Once upon a time, there was a man named Daniel, a cherished friend of my late husband from the days of their youth at university. It had been more than 10 long years since our paths last crossed. Our connection lingered like a gentle breeze, marked by holiday cards and the rare birthday message, yet it remained a dance of distance, never delving too deeply into the personal realm. When he reached out, his voice warm with the promise of a journey through Virginia, he asked if we could meet. Without a moment's hesitation, I agreed, swept up in the excitement of the reunion. As I suggested we meet at a cozy coffee shop just around the corner, he caught me off guard with an unexpected request. He inquired if he might stay the night, explaining that every hotel in the vicinity was fully booked because of a bustling wine festival. With a moment of uncertainty lingering in the air, I finally found the courage to nod in agreement. In a quaint little abode, the guest room stood immaculate, a testament to my efforts, for he was not just any visitor, but an old friend, someone whose presence brought warmth and nostalgia to the air. It seemed pure and untainted, a moment wrapped in simplicity. As he stepped onto the scene, the rain poured down in torrents, drenching everything in its path. As I turned the handle and pushed the door ajar, there he stood before me. Time had woven its threads into his beard, now touched with silver, yet that familiar, easy smile remained unchanged, a beacon of warmth in the passage of years. As he stepped through the door, he carried with him not only his overnight bag but also the enchanting aroma of fresh rain, a gentle reminder of the world outside. In the grand foyer, we lingered for a moment, exchanging hesitant words that danced around the edges of small talk. Yet, like a gentle breeze guiding us, we soon meandered into the heart of the home, the kitchen. Once upon a time, in the quiet of the afternoon, I set about the simple yet enchanting task of brewing a warm cup of tea. He poured a splash of whiskey into his glass, the amber liquid catching the light as it swirled within, promising warmth and stories yet to be told. For hours on end, we found ourselves seated at the kitchen island, lost in conversation. Once upon a time, there were my children, full of laughter and wonder. Not long ago, he turned the page to a new chapter in his life, embracing the joys of retirement. And oh, the tales he could tell of the far-off lands he had explored, each journey a treasure trove of memories. It had been ages since I found myself in a conversation so rich and unhurried, where time seemed to stand still. We wandered through a tapestry of memories, punctuated by gentle laughter and comfortable silences that spoke volumes. In a moment that felt like time itself had paused, he leaned across the counter, his fingers gently tucking a wayward strand of my hair behind my ear. In that moment, I remained still, neither retreating nor offering a reply, simply gazing at him with an unspoken understanding. As the fleeting moment slipped away, it lingered in the silence between us, unspoken and untouched. As the clock struck 11, I guided him toward the guest room with a firm hand. In a snug little nook, where warmth embraces you, there lie fresh linens waiting to cradle you in comfort. A gentle reading lamp casts a soft glow, inviting you to lose yourself in the pages of a story, while a window opens to the serene beauty of the backyard, offering a glimpse of nature's quiet charm. He expressed his gratitude with a smile that radiated warmth, a fleeting moment that seemed to stretch just a heartbeat longer than usual. As I whispered my good night, I gently closed the door to my sanctuary, pausing for a heartbeat with my hand resting on the knob. In that stillness, my heart stirred with an unusual vitality, as if it had awakened to secrets yet untold. In the stillness of the night, as the clock struck midnight, an inexplicable force stirred me from my slumber. Perhaps it was the wind, gently coaxing the branches to dance against the window, or the strange feeling of another soul sharing the space, stirring the air with an aura of mystery. As my hand extended toward the glass of water resting on the bedside, time seemed to stand still, and I found myself momentarily suspended in a breathless pause. In the quiet of the hallway, soft footsteps echoed, each step measured and purposeful, neither rushed nor stealthy, but filled with intention. With a gentle rustle of sheets, I eased myself from the warmth of my bed and approached the door, careful to keep my movements soft and silent. In the shadowy corridor, darkness reigned, interrupted only by the soft glow that seeped from beneath the door of the guest room. Yet, the light did not emanate from a lamp. In the dim light, it danced and flickered, casting shadows that whispered secrets of the night. Ah, the soft glow of candlelight, a flickering flame that dances in the shadows, casting a warm embrace upon the room. It whispers secrets of tranquility and romance, inviting all who gather near to pause and reflect in its gentle illumination. My heart quickened its rhythm, a gentle drum echoing in the quiet of the moment. With soft footsteps, I approached the door and carefully eased it open. In the dim glow of a solitary candle, Daniel found himself perched on the edge of the bed, lost in thought. He gazed up at me, his eyes wide with surprise at first, but then a gentle warmth began to spread across his face. Sleep eluded me, he confessed. A whirlwind of thought swirls within. As I crossed the threshold, a wave of uncertainty washed over me, leaving me to ponder why I hadn't simply retreated to the comfort of my bed. "Are you feeling all right?" I inquired, my voice barely above a whisper. He nodded, a quiet acknowledgement of his return to this familiar place. Within these walls, memories of him linger like whispers in the air. Of the melody that escapes your lips, a sound that dances through the air like a gentle breeze, bringing warmth and joy to all who hear it. In the days of yore, when sensations danced upon the air like whispers of forgotten dreams. Silence enveloped the moment, as words remained unspoken. There I stood, the flickering candlelight weaving shadows that danced upon the walls and gently caressed his face. With a hushed voice, he gazed downward, a hint of regret in his tone as he murmured, "I apologize if I overstepped earlier. With your flowing locks. It was never my intention to bring you any discomfort." As I drew nearer, the world around me seemed to hold its breath. "You didn't," I replied, my voice steady and unwavering. He raised his gaze to the heavens. In that moment, I caught a glimpse of something profound in his eyes. There was a weariness that lingered, yet beneath it all, a gentle warmth stirred within. In a world where strength often reigns supreme, there lies a quiet beauty in vulnerability. It is the tender thread that weaves through the fabric of our existence, reminding us of our shared humanity and the courage it takes to be open and honest. In those moments of fragility, we find connection, understanding, and the profound power of simply being ourselves. Once upon a time, in a world that felt like home, there was a sense of recognition that wrapped around the heart like a warm embrace. It was a feeling that whispered of shared moments and cherished memories, a gentle reminder of the places and faces that shaped our journey. In this realm, everything seemed to resonate with a comforting echo, inviting us to explore the depths of what we know and love. In that moment, as I stood there draped in my well-worn robe, my hair touched by the gentle hand of time and my bare feet resting upon the cool hardwood floor, a profound truth washed over me: I was not afraid. Confusion did not cloud my mind. In that moment, uncertainty wrapped around me like a thick fog, leaving me to ponder what the next chapter would unfold. In that moment, he extended his hand and softly brushed against mine. And in that moment, the very essence of what I believed to be loneliness began to transform before my eyes. I kept my hand right where it was, refusing to let go. In that fleeting moment, silence enveloped us, and words hung in the air, unspoken. His thumb lay gently upon the back of my hand, a warm and steady presence that spoke of comfort and connection. The candle danced gently between us, its soft amber light weaving a spell that transformed the room into a realm untouched by the passage of time. In that fleeting moment, time ceased to exist. There was only the soft rhythm of our breaths mingling in the stillness and the pulse of a secret yet to be revealed. As I settled next to him on the edge of the bed, a quiet moment unfolded between us. "It's strange," I murmured, my voice scarcely rising above the rhythmic patter of the rain outside, "how swiftly silence can begin to feel like a companion." With a gentle smile, Daniel held her gaze, the world around them fading into a soft blur. "It's not strange to me," he declared, a hint of certainty in his voice. "In the tapestry of life, there are moments when silence speaks louder than words, a silence that is not merely given but truly earned through the weight of experience." We lingered in that moment, our hands almost brushing against one another. In that moment, I felt a warmth enveloping me, a reassuring heaviness that I hadn't known I craved until it settled beside me, like a long-lost companion returning home. In the quietude of my days, I had become familiar with the soft echo of my own footsteps, a constant companion in the solitary rituals that marked my journey through widowhood. Yet, in that moment, I began to observe the subtle nuances, the gentle softness that danced in his voice and the way he leaned in ever so slightly, as if to catch every word that fell from my lips. He shattered the stillness that enveloped the air. "Carol, I arrived here with no expectations, I promise you that. Yet, as I stand here with you once more, a whirlwind of emotions awakens within me, feelings I never anticipated would resurface." As I let out a long, deliberate breath, a sense of uncertainty washed over me, leaving me to ponder the depths of my emotions. As I gazed upon our hands, intertwined and steadfast, a sense of warmth enveloped us. Ah, the mystery of expectations! Even I find myself pondering what I truly anticipated in this unfolding tale. Yet, in the midst of it all, there lies a curious sensation, one that whispers softly, assuring that whatever this may be, it does not feel wrong. With a gentle nod, he acknowledged the moment. Alas, it does not. Our lips never met. We remained steadfast, not daring to draw nearer. Instead, we engaged in conversation. For what felt like an eternity. He shared with me the tale of his divorce from a decade past, a chapter marked by silence and simplicity, where love gradually slipped away, much like a familiar melody fading into the distance. He shared tales of his regrets, the unspoken words that lingered in the air, and the moments when he found himself yearning for the dreamer he once was, the one who dared to reach for the stars. As I recounted the early days following Tom's departure, I painted a picture of a house that loomed large and empty, echoing with memories. I shared how, in the quiet of the night, I found myself drifting to one side of the bed, a ritual born from the weight of habit. In a moment of vulnerability, I shared with him the shadows that haunted my mind, the fears of aging, the creeping sensation of fading into the very fabric of existence, and the nagging thought that perhaps I had already experienced my final fresh start. He listened as if the world had fallen silent, a rare gift in a time long forgotten. In a realm where tales intertwine with quietude, we found ourselves once more upon the bed, leaning against the headboard, our shoulders brushing softly against one another. In the space we shared, time seemed to slow, enveloping us in a gentle embrace of warmth, free from the rush of the outside world. In a moment of quiet intimacy, I found my head resting gently on his shoulder, while he tenderly placed his cheek upon my hair, creating a soft cocoon of warmth between us. As I gently closed my eyes, the world around me faded into a soft whisper of silence. In that fleeting moment, a warmth enveloped me, and solitude faded into the background. In that moment, I found myself not as a woman seeking to reclaim what had slipped through my fingers. In that moment, a wave of presence washed over me, wrapping me in a cocoon of safety, and I found myself feeling more vibrantly alive than ever before. In the end, a serene hush enveloped us, not born of fatigue, but rather a deep sense of solace shared between us. With a deliberate rise, I found my feet beneath me, and he mirrored my movement, guiding me gently into the hallway. As I was about to retreat to the sanctuary of my room, he extended his hand toward mine once more. "Thank you for letting me in tonight," he said, his voice carrying a weight that suggested he was speaking of more than just the threshold of the house. With a gentle squeeze of his hand and a warm smile, I turned and made my way back to the comfort of the bed. On that fateful night, after what felt like an eternity, I found myself drifting into slumber without the familiar whisper of solitude by my side. As I drifted into slumber, my mind danced with the memory of how his voice took on a gentle lilt, wrapping around my name like a warm embrace. As dawn broke, the soft rays of sunlight danced through the kitchen window, casting a warm glow upon the countertop where 2 mugs lingered, remnants of the previous night's gathering, now quietly drying in the embrace of the morning light. There I was, standing by the stove, anticipation hanging in the air as I awaited the kettle's familiar whistle, cocooned in the warmth of a soft sweater and lost in the labyrinth of my thoughts. The stillness of the morning air had transformed, no longer a void but a canvas brimming with promise. As Daniel stepped through the door, his hair glistened with droplets of water, remnants of a refreshing shower. Clad in a humble gray t-shirt and well-worn jeans, he carried an air of casual ease, ready to embrace the day ahead. In the gentle embrace of the soft light, he appeared to carry a youthful glow, as if time itself had paused to grant him a moment of renewed vitality. Or perhaps it was the enchanting way his smile danced upon his lips when our gazes intertwined. "Ah, the aroma of coffee fills the air," he murmured, his voice still thick with the remnants of slumber. "Tea," I said, as I poured the steaming water into 2 waiting mugs. "But if you'd like something different, I can certainly whip up a batch just for you." With a weary shake of his head, he settled into the familiar embrace of the kitchen table. Ah, tea, that wondrous brew, a potion of warmth and comfort, a perfect companion for quiet moments and shared stories alike. In that moment, time seemed to hold its breath, creating a silence that felt more like a gentle embrace than an awkward stillness. In the quiet moments that followed, our minds wandered back to the events of the night before, a shared memory lingering between us, unspoken yet palpable. In the quiet of that candlelit room, a memory hung in the air, unvoiced yet deeply felt, weaving an invisible bond between us. As I settled into my seat, I held my mug close, a comforting warmth in my hands, while gazing across at him. "Did you find rest in the embrace of slumber?" I inquired gently. He offered a faint smile, and though the hour was late, I found no trouble in being awake. Though I shared the sentiment, the words remained unspoken on my lips. As the sun rose, we found ourselves lost in conversation, as if the shadows of the night had faded away. We spoke of melodies that danced in our minds, of the cheerful birds flitting about in the backyard, and of a beloved old movie that brought smiles to our faces, a shared memory that warmed our hearts. Yet, beneath the surface, a gentle warmth lingered in the words we exchanged. Each glance carried a deeper significance, whispering secrets only the heart could understand. Each word seemed to carry a deeper significance, as if it were laden with meaning. As the sun reached its zenith, he extended a hand to tidy up the garden patio, a subtle pretext, perhaps, to linger just a bit more in the warmth of the day. With a heart full of hope and a spirit ready for adventure, I uttered the words that would change everything, yes. For an hour, we danced with the autumn leaves, sweeping them away as the sun cast its golden glow. We scrubbed the glass table until it sparkled, our laughter ringing out like music as we shared a moment of joy over a pesky wasp that seemed determined to befriend Daniel. There came a moment when my gaze fell upon him, captivated by the unfolding scene before me. In the gentle sway of his movements, there was a grace that captivated the eye. He would often halt, lost in the beauty of a single bloom, as if the world around him faded away. And oh, the smile that danced upon his lips when he believed I was unseen, a secret shared only with the whispers of the wind. In that moment, he lifted his gaze and our eyes met, as if the world around us faded away. With a gentle sweep of his hands across his jeans, he turned to Carol and said, "I need to ask you something." A chill coursed through me, causing me to momentarily halt in my tracks. As I stood there, a rhythmic pounding echoed within me, my heart thudding fiercely against the confines of my chest. "Would it be strange," he continued, "if I told you I don't want to leave just yet?" For a fleeting moment, I gazed upon him, weighing my words before they found their way to the surface. "No," I declared with conviction. "It would be quite ordinary, indeed." He approached with a measured grace, each step imbued with a sense of reverence, and extended his hand toward mine once more. In the midst of uncertainty, I find myself pondering the nature of this journey we are on together. Though the path ahead remains shrouded in mystery, the very act of sharing this moment with you ignites a desire within me to unravel its meaning. "In your company." In the stillness of the moment, his words flowed like a gentle stream, carrying with them a profound sincerity that needed no embellishment or urgency. With a gentle nod, we lingered in that moment, his hand enveloping mine, as the warm breeze danced around us. As the afternoon sun began to wane, we settled into the familiar embrace of the living room couch, our fingers gently flipping through the pages of an old photo album that had long been untouched, revealing memories waiting to be rediscovered. Images of Tom, snapshots of our children, and cherished moments from our youth. A gentle tide of emotion rose within me, yet it brought no pain. It carried the essence of humanity. With a gentle touch, Daniel placed his hand on my back, not as a means to soothe or mend, but simply to share the moment, to let me know he was present. It anchored my spirit. As I gazed upon him, a smile broke through the veil of my misty eyes. So much has been held within these walls, I whispered. In the tapestry of life, threads of joy intertwine with the shadows of loss, all woven together by the enduring power of love. In the depths of my mind, I believed there was no space left for the unfamiliar to take root. There always is, he replied, his voice barely rising above a whisper, as if sharing a secret with the shadows around them. There are moments when we must summon the courage to turn the handle and step through the threshold once more. And in that moment, a deep understanding washed over me, for I realized I had indeed crossed that threshold. As the day began to fade into twilight, we found ourselves on the porch, where the sun dipped low in the sky, painting the world in hues of gold that stretched across the lawn like a warm embrace. As the wind began to calm, the birds fell silent, and the serene embrace of twilight enveloped us like a warm blanket. From the depths of my humble abode, I summoned forth 2 elegant glasses, one filled with the rich, deep hue of red wine, the other a crisp, shimmering white, each waiting to tell their own tale. With a gentle smile, he accepted his drink from my hands, and in that quiet moment, we raised our glasses, the soft clink echoing our unspoken bond. The silence had taken on a new quality, a weight that hung in the air like a whispered secret waiting to be unveiled. It was not the void that mattered, but the essence that filled the space. There existed a bond, his and mine, a connection that flowed effortlessly between us, no longer requiring words to define it. As I stood there, my eyes drifting beyond the trees, I whispered softly, recalling the times I had once watched sunsets like this all by myself. There were moments when I found myself conversing with Tom, not in the spoken word, but within the quiet corners of my mind. With a gentle thud, I brought my hand to my chest. In the quiet moments, I would weave tales of that day, painting vivid pictures of the garden, and sharing the little wonders I longed for him to have experienced by my side. Daniel cast a glance my way, his warm, steady eyes holding a depth that seemed to tell a story of their own. "Do you still hold on to that feeling?" There were moments when I would nod in agreement, yet those instances have become fewer as of late. He made no demands, simply extended his hand and enveloped mine in a gentle grasp. "I don't want to rush anything," he said after a moment of contemplation, "and I don't expect answers right away." In the span of just 2 days, a remarkable transformation has taken place within me, one that has allowed me to reconnect with the essence of who I truly am, a feeling I haven't experienced in years. I turned to him, my gaze probing his face for any flicker of hesitation, any whisper of doubt that might betray his thoughts. In my search, I came across nothing at all. "You don't make me feel younger, Daniel," I said, a faint smile gracing my lips. "In your presence, I discover a sense of authenticity that had long eluded me, a feeling I hadn't fully grasped I was yearning for." He leaned in, ever so slowly, offering me every opportunity to retreat. Alas, I did not. As our lips brushed softly together, there was no rush, no grand displays of passion, only a tender, sincere bond that unfolded into a quietly exquisite moment. It was not a kiss that whispered of eternity. It was a message that whispered, "I see you. In this moment, I have arrived." As we gently separated, he leaned in, resting his forehead softly against mine, and a shared laughter danced between us, light and fleeting. A laugh that echoes through time, casting aside the shadows of the past and welcoming the dawn of fresh beginnings. As the evening deepened and the stars began to twinkle into existence, we found our way back indoors, leaving the enchanting night behind. Once more, I extended the invitation of the guest room to him, yet an unvoiced understanding lingered in the air between us. It is not merely an expectation that lingers in the air, but rather a question that dances on the edge of possibility. He lingered in the hallway, his gaze shifting from the door of the guest room to me, as if weighing the unspoken words that hung in the air. "Where would you like me tonight?" he inquired gently, his voice a whisper in the stillness. In that fleeting moment, I paused, not from doubt, but from a deep respect for the significance of the question posed before me. "Join me on this journey," I beckoned. On that enchanting night, we took our time, savoring every moment. We shed not only our garments, but also the heavy layers of fear, hesitation, and loneliness that had clung to us for years. In the gentle embrace of our conversations, we found ourselves drawing nearer, holding each other with a warmth that spoke volumes. As we drifted into slumber, the closeness we shared whispered a promise of trust, a bond woven through the quiet moments of the night. Once, I hid in the shadows, but now I stand tall, unafraid to let the world see me for who I truly am. As dawn broke, he set about the humble task of preparing breakfast, crafting fluffy scrambled eggs alongside golden, crisp toast. From the threshold, I beheld him, clad in my robe, and a thought crossed my mind. I never envisioned such a moment unfolding at this stage of my life, yet perhaps that is precisely the essence of it all. Ah, love, that enchanting force that dances to its own rhythm, unbound by the constraints of time. It weaves its tale in moments both fleeting and eternal, reminding us that its journey is uniquely ours to embrace. At times, it lingers in the shadows, at other moments, it returns like an old friend, and then there are those instances when it arrives unannounced amidst a downpour, seeking refuge for the night, and in doing so, transforms the very fabric of existence. 2 days passed, and he departed, yet not without a scheme nestled in his heart, a promise to return. In those moments, we found ourselves immersed in a creation, yet we never spoke its name. In that moment, we made a vow, a solemn promise that the door would remain open, never to be closed again. Alas, I have not. Not to him, it seemed. Not to my own ears. Once upon a time, that was the case, but now, things have changed.